Nowadays, when everyone talks about the danger of a Third World War, Sun Tzu's The Art of War is more relevant than ever. This book is a timeless classic on strategy and tactics, revered not only in military circles but also in various fields like business, politics, and sports. It's a treatise on the principles of warfare and their applications in different contexts. Here are some key points. Know yourself and your enemy. Sun Tzu emphasizes the importance of self-awareness and understanding your opponent. Knowing your strengths and weaknesses as well as those of your adversary is crucial for success, strategy, and planning. Sun Tzu stresses the significance of careful planning and strategic thinking. He highlights the necessity of considering various factors before engaging in any conflict. Flexibility and adaptability. The ability to adapt to changing circumstances is paramount. Sun Tzu advises against rigid adherence to plans and suggests being flexible in response to the situation on the ground. Deception and misdirection. The use of deception to mislead the enemy and manipulate their perceptions is a recurring theme. Sun Tzu advocates for employing strategies that keep the opponent guessing and off balance. Winning without fighting. One of the central tenets of The Art of War is the idea of achieving victory without direct conflict. Sun Tzu emphasizes the importance of psychological warfare and diplomacy in achieving strategic objectives. Terrain and environment. Understanding the terrain and environmental factors is crucial for success in warfare. Sun Tzu advises generals to leverage the natural advantages of the battlefield to gain an upper hand. Leadership and discipline. Effective leadership and discipline are essential for maintaining order and maximizing the potential of the troops. Sun Tzu stresses the importance of leading by example and fostering a strong sense of unity among soldiers. Now let's talk in more detail about the principles of warfare. Know yourself and your enemy is one of the fundamental principles in Sun Tzu's The Art of War. Know yourself. Understanding your own strengths, weaknesses, capabilities, and limitations is crucial. This self-awareness allows you to capitalize on your strengths while mitigating your weaknesses. It involves assessing your resources, morale, leadership, and overall readiness for conflict. By knowing yourself, you can make informed decisions about strategy, tactics, and objectives. Know your enemy. Equally important is understanding your opponent. This involves studying their strengths, weaknesses, tendencies, tactics, and objectives. By gaining insights into your enemy's mindset, capabilities, and intentions, you can anticipate their actions and devise effective counter-strategies. Sun Tzu emphasizes the need to gather intelligence, analyze your opponent's movements, and adapt your own plans accordingly. Comparative analysis. Sun Tzu suggests that victory is more likely when you have a superior understanding of both yourself and your enemy. By comparing your strengths and weaknesses to those of your opponent, you can identify areas where you have an advantage and areas where you need to be cautious. This comparative analysis informs your strategic decisions and helps you exploit vulnerabilities in the enemy's position while safeguarding your own. Strategic planning. Armed with knowledge about yourself and your enemy, you can develop a comprehensive strategic plan. This plan should leverage your strengths, mitigate your weaknesses, capitalize on your opponent's vulnerabilities, and anticipate their reactions. Sun Tzu emphasizes the importance of flexibility in strategic planning, as the dynamic nature of warfare requires constant adaptation to changing circumstances. Know yourself and your enemy is not just about gathering information but also about using that information to inform your decisions, maximize your advantages, and minimize your risks in the pursuit of victory. It underscores the importance of intelligence, analysis, and strategic thinking in both military and non-military contexts. Strategy and planning are central themes in Sun Tzu's The Art of War. Importance of strategy. Sun Tzu emphasizes the significance of strategic thinking as the foundation of successful warfare. He asserts that victory is not achieved through brute force alone but through careful planning, cunning, and deception. A well-crafted strategy allows one to outmaneuver the opponent and achieve objectives with minimal loss. Strategic assessments. Sun Tzu stresses the importance of thoroughly assessing the situation before engaging in conflict. This includes evaluating factors such as terrain, weather, morale, resources, and the disposition of both your own forces and those of the enemy. By conducting a comprehensive analysis, you can identify opportunities and threats, strengths and weaknesses, which inform your strategic decisions. Flexibility in planning. While Sun Tzu advocates for thorough planning, he also emphasizes the need for flexibility. Plans should not be rigidly adhered to but adapted as circumstances change. He compares strategic planning to water, which takes the shape of its container. Effective strategists must be adaptable, ready to modify their plans in response to new information or unexpected developments on the battlefield. Economic warfare. Sun Tzu discusses the importance of conserving resources and waging war economically. He advises against prolonged conflicts that drain resources and weaken both sides. Instead, he advocates for swift and decisive campaigns that achieve objectives with minimal expenditure of resources. Deception and misdirection. Strategy often involves the use of deception to outwit the opponent. Sun Tzu discusses various tactics for misleading the enemy, such as feints, false information, and traps. By sowing confusion and uncertainty, you can gain the upper hand and manipulate the enemy's movements to your advantage. Strategic offense and defense. Sun Tzu argues that the best defense is a strong offense. He emphasizes the importance of taking the initiative and dictating the terms of the conflict. However, he also cautions against reckless aggression and advises knowing when to withdraw or defend strategically important positions. Sun Tzu's teachings on strategy and planning emphasize the importance of foresight, adaptability, and cunning in achieving victory. By carefully analyzing the situation, crafting flexible plans, and employing deception when necessary, one can outmaneuver the enemy and achieve strategic objectives. Flexibility and adaptability are key principles in Sun Tzu's The Art of War. response to change, Sun Tzu highlights the dynamic nature of warfare and the unpredictability of the battlefield. He emphasizes the need for commanders to be flexible and adaptable in their approach, ready to respond to changing circumstances and adjust their plans accordingly. This adaptability enables them to seize opportunities and overcome unexpected challenges. Water as a metaphor. Sun Tzu often uses the metaphor of water to illustrate the concept of flexibility. Water is fluid and takes the shape of its container, yet it can also be powerful and unstoppable. Similarly, commanders should be like water, able to flow around obstacles, adapt to the terrain, and adjust their strategies as needed. Avoiding rigidity. Sun Tzu warns against rigidity in planning and execution. He cautions commanders against becoming overly attached to their initial plans, as this can lead to disaster if the situation changes. Instead, he advises them to remain open-minded and willing to deviate from the plan if necessary to achieve victory. Exploiting weaknesses. Flexibility allows commanders to exploit the weaknesses of the enemy. By observing the opponent's movements and adjusting their own tactics accordingly, they can capitalize on vulnerabilities and gain the upper hand in battle. This may involve shifting the focus of attack, changing the direction of advance, or altering the timing of maneuvers. Adaptation to terrain. Sun Tzu emphasizes the importance of adapting to the terrain and using it to one's advantage. Different environments present different challenges and opportunities, and commanders must be able to adjust their tactics accordingly. By understanding the terrain and adapting their strategies to suit it, they can gain a strategic edge over the enemy, balancing offense and defense. Flexibility also applies to the balance between offense and defense. Sun Tzu advises commanders to be flexible in their approach to both, knowing when to take the initiative and when to adopt a defensive posture. This flexibility enables them to maintain the initiative and keep the enemy off balance. Overall, flexibility and adaptability are essential qualities for success in warfare, according to Sun Tzu. By remaining flexible in their approach, commanders can outmaneuver the enemy, exploit opportunities, and achieve victory on the battlefield. Deception and misdirection are central themes in Sun Tzu's The Art of War. Importance of deception. Sun Tzu emphasizes the strategic value of deception in warfare. He argues that all warfare is based on deception and that successful commanders must be adept at misleading the enemy and concealing their true intentions. Deception can sow confusion, disrupt the enemy's plans, and create opportunities for victory. Feints and false moves. Sun Tzu discusses various tactics for deceiving the enemy, including feints and false movements. By making it appear as though you are attacking one location or pursuing a certain course of action, you can lure the enemy into making mistakes and expose their vulnerabilities. Feints can also be used to distract the enemy's attention while you execute your true strategy elsewhere. Use of spies and intelligence. Sun Tzu emphasizes the importance of gathering intelligence and using spies to obtain information about the enemy's movements, intentions, and weaknesses. By knowing your enemy better than they know themselves, you can anticipate their actions and devise effective strategies for deceiving them. Spies can also spread disinformation and sow discord within the enemy's ranks, masking intentions. Sun Tzu advises commanders to conceal their true intentions and keep the enemy guessing about their next move. By maintaining an aura of mystery and unpredictability, you can keep the enemy off balance and prevent them from formulating an effective response. This may involve using decoys, false signals, or other means of obscuring your true intentions. Adapting to the enemy's deception, Sun Tzu cautions commanders to be wary of falling victim to the enemy's deception tactics. He advises them to remain vigilant and skeptical, constantly questioning the information they receive and looking for signs of deception. By anticipating the enemy's attempts to mislead you, you can minimize the effectiveness of their deception and avoid being caught off guard. Psychological warfare. Deception is not just about misleading the enemy on the battlefield, but also about undermining their morale and eroding their will to fight. Sun Tzu discusses the importance of psychological warfare in weakening the enemy's resolve and fostering disunity within their ranks. By spreading rumors, demoralizing the enemy's troops, and sowing dissent among their leaders, you can undermine their ability to resist and hasten their defeat. Deception and misdirection are powerful tools in the strategist's arsenal, according to Sun Tzu. By mastering the art of deception, commanders can gain a strategic advantage over their enemies and increase their chances of success on the battlefield. Winning without fighting is a central concept in Sun Tzu's The Art of War. Understanding victory, Sun Tzu defines true victory as achieving your objectives with minimal loss, whether it's defeating the enemy, securing territory, or achieving a specific goal. He stresses that the ultimate goal of warfare is not simply to destroy the enemy but to achieve your aims with the least amount of bloodshed and resources expended. Strategic maneuvering. Sun Tzu advocates for using strategic maneuvering and psychological tactics to compel the enemy to submit without resorting to open warfare. By creating conditions that are unfavorable to the enemy or by exploiting their weaknesses, you can compel them to surrender, retreat, or capitulate without engaging in battle. Psychological warfare. Sun Tzu emphasizes the importance of psychological warfare in influencing the enemy's mindset and behavior. By undermining their morale, instilling fear, or sowing confusion, you can weaken their resolve and make them more susceptible to your influence. This can ultimately lead to their defeat without the need for direct combat. Diplomacy and negotiation. Winning without fighting also involves leveraging diplomatic and negotiation skills to achieve your objectives peacefully. Sun Tzu advises commanders to seek diplomatic solutions whenever possible, as this can often lead to a more favorable outcome than resorting to force. By using diplomacy to divide the enemy's alliances or to secure advantageous terms, you can achieve victory without bloodshed. Economic warfare. Sun Tzu advocates for waging economic warfare as a means of weakening the enemy's ability to resist. By cutting off their supply lines, disrupting their economy, or imposing economic sanctions, you can undermine their ability to sustain their war effort and compel them to capitulate without resorting to direct conflict. Strategic retreat. Sometimes, the best way to win is to retreat strategically, avoiding a direct confrontation that would be costly or futile. Sun Tzu advises commanders to know when to withdraw from a losing battle or to feign retreat to lure the enemy into a trap. By retreating strategically, you can regroup, conserve your resources, and wait for an opportunity to strike when the odds are more favorable. Winning without fighting requires strategic thinking, patience, and the ability to outmaneuver the enemy through non-confrontational means. Sun Tzu's teachings emphasize the importance of achieving victory with minimal loss and maximum efficiency, whether through psychological tactics, diplomacy, or strategic maneuvering. In The Art of War, Sun Tzu emphasizes the critical importance of understanding and leveraging the terrain and environment in warfare. Terrain analysis. Sun Tzu stresses the need for commanders to thoroughly analyze the terrain where battles will take place. This includes studying the geography, topography, climate, vegetation, and other features that can affect military operations. Understanding the terrain allows commanders to identify advantages, such as high ground, natural barriers, or concealment, that can be exploited to gain a strategic edge. Adapting strategies to terrain. Sun Tzu advises commanders to adapt their strategies and tactics to suit the terrain. Different types of terrain require different approaches to warfare, and commanders must be flexible in their thinking. For example, mountainous terrain may favor guerrilla tactics and ambushes, while open plains may be more suitable for maneuver warfare and cavalry charges. Defensive positions. Sun Tzu discusses the importance of choosing defensible positions that maximize the advantages offered by the terrain. Defensive positions should be chosen carefully to minimize vulnerabilities and make it difficult for the enemy to attack. Natural obstacles, such as rivers, forests, or cliffs, can be used to create strong defensive lines that are difficult for the enemy to breach. Offensive maneuvers. While defensive positions are important, Sun Tzu also emphasizes the importance of offensive maneuvers that exploit weaknesses in the enemy's position. By understanding the terrain and identifying the enemy's vulnerabilities, commanders can launch attacks from unexpected directions or exploit gaps in the enemy's defenses to achieve decisive victories. Weather and climate. Sun Tzu also considers the impact of weather and climate on military operations. Extreme weather conditions, such as rain, snow, or fog, can affect visibility, mobility, and morale, and commanders must be prepared to adapt their tactics accordingly. Additionally, seasonal variations can influence the timing and duration of campaigns, as well as the availability of resources. Logistics and supply lines. Sun Tzu discusses the importance of logistics and supply lines in sustaining military operations, especially in challenging terrain. Commanders must ensure that their troops are adequately supplied with food, water, ammunition, and other essentials, taking into account the logistical challenges posed by difficult terrain or harsh environmental conditions. Sun Tzu's teachings on terrain and environment highlight the need for commanders to understand and adapt to the physical characteristics of the battlefield. By leveraging the advantages offered by terrain and accounting for environmental factors, commanders can maximize their chances of success in warfare. Sun Tzu places a strong emphasis on leadership and discipline as fundamental elements of successful military strategy. Leading by example, Sun Tzu emphasizes that a leader must lead by example and set high standards for their subordinates. By demonstrating courage, wisdom, and dedication, a leader inspires confidence and loyalty among their troops. Leading from the front instills a sense of trust and camaraderie, fostering a strong bond between the leader and their followers. Command and control. Effective leadership involves maintaining command and control over one's forces, ensuring that orders are clear, concise, and promptly executed. Sun Tzu stresses the importance of communication and coordination among different units, as well as the need for flexibility in response to changing circumstances. A leader must be decisive yet adaptable, able to make quick decisions under pressure while remaining open to feedback and new information. Discipline and training. Sun Tzu emphasizes the importance of discipline and training in maintaining order and maximizing the effectiveness of the military force. Discipline instills obedience, respect for authority, and adherence to standards of conduct. Training ensures that soldiers are proficient in their duties and capable of performing under duress. A disciplined and well-trained army is more resilient, cohesive, and effective on the battlefield. Morale and motivation. Sun Tzu recognizes the importance of morale and motivation in sustaining the fighting spirit of the troops. A leader must inspire confidence, instill a sense of purpose, and cultivate a positive attitude among their soldiers. By fostering a spirit of camaraderie, pride, and loyalty, a leader can boost morale and motivate their troops to overcome adversity and achieve victory. Leading with wisdom. Sun Tzu emphasizes the importance of wisdom and strategic thinking in leadership. A leader must possess keen insight, sound judgment, and the ability to anticipate the enemy's moves. By understanding the dynamics of warfare and applying strategic principles effectively, a leader can outmaneuver the enemy and achieve success on the battlefield. Caring for troops. Lastly, Sun Tzu highlights the importance of caring for the welfare of one's troops. A leader must ensure that soldiers are properly fed, clothed, and housed, and that their physical and emotional needs are met. By demonstrating concern for their well-being, a leader earns the loyalty and devotion of their troops, fostering a strong sense of unity and cohesion within the military force. Sun Tzu's teachings on leadership and discipline emphasize the importance of strong, capable leadership in achieving success in warfare. By leading by example, maintaining discipline and morale, and exercising wisdom and strategic acumen, a leader can inspire their troops to perform at their best and achieve victory on the battlefield. Overall, The Art of War offers timeless wisdom on strategy, leadership, and the dynamics of conflict, making it relevant not only in military contexts but also in various aspects of life where strategic thinking is required.